I'm telling you,
Do you
free
see that
spin.
person with the umbrella?
Just
like fighting for their
Just
life?
fighting.
Yeah, she's like fighting with the umbrella.
But there are people watching going, you know what? This is my day. I'm going to avoid the rush. I'm going to avoid the crowds. And I'm going to get my IGs. I'm going to filter it up. I'm going to make it look like a sunny
Sure.
day.
Yeah, people
And
can
there
do
you
whatever.
go. Bob's
Yeah.
your uncle. You're welcome.
You want to skip through the cherry blossoms,
Yes.
Sid. I know you do.
You're welcome, BT viewer. We appreciate you. Welcome back. Three wide on the couch. Devo on assignment. Great to see you. It's a rainy Wednesday. It's hump day. We're nearing the weekend. A lot of talk recently, and we've talked about her on this show because she's a massive story. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is already, having not played a single minute of action in the WNBA, might be one of the greatest women's basketball players in the history of the sport. She managed more points than anyone in the history of Division 1A women's college hoops at the University of Iowa. Went to back-to-back championship games. She didn't win either, but made incredible runs. And on Monday night, she was drafted first overall by Indiana in the WNBA draft in New York. This made headlines in New York, around North America, and really around the world. She was on Saturday Night Live Saturday night. She is the it athlete right now. With that said, people are now noticing what her rookie salary over 4 years is going to be in the WNBA as a first-round pick compared to her counterparts in the NBA. So the numbers look like this. Now, these do not include whatever sponsorships or endorsements are coming her way, and there will be numerous. But the reality for Caitlin Clark is, as big a star as she is, for 4 years, she's making $338,000.
Whoa.
The comparison in the NBA, the last first-round pick was Victor Wembanyama. He will make in his rookie contract $55 million. The NBA minimum salary, you heard me right, Victor Wembanyama makes $55 million in his first year, not including endorsements. NBA minimum salary is 1.1, average NBA salary 9.7. The other thing that people do need to realize about the business of the NBA and the WNBA, per year, the WNBA in TV money from the networks, they make $60 million. That's not nothing. That's pretty good. The NBA right now, and they're going to renegotiate this deal, so it's going to increase. The NBA per year makes $2.6 billion. The finances of these specific businesses are not the same. That's the reality of it. Still, though, when you see a star like Caitlin Clark, who is becoming about as mainstream as any athlete right now, it is kind of wild to see, Tam. What are your thoughts looking at that?
So I actually had this question yesterday. I was talking to Otis about this and asking about when you are drafted, do all first-round draft picks get the same base salary? Because I would think for Caitlin Clark, because of the fact that she's coming in with all of these records, that any team could really snatch her up for a certain amount of money if they were to offer it, right? But fine, you hear that she has $300,000. I just don't understand how the first-round draft pick in the NBA can get a salary of $55 million. So clearly, there is not a base salary for all first-round draft picks, you know, whether it's the NBA or the WNBA. And regardless of the TV money that it brings, I just think that discrepancy is horrible.
But the wild thing, though, is that NBA base salary, the $55 million for Victor Wembanyama, that is base.
That's
base.
Well, and it's also for one
Contract. That's one contract.
And $338 for her
the entire
is
contract.
over 4 years.
4 years.
So if you break that down, yearly it's even less.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, what I find so sort of interesting and almost wonderful about this is there are so many salaries that are not disclosed in life, generally. But I really think sports, and this is an opportunity to really see it. I get the businesses are different, but to really see those discrepancies show up on the bottom line, because we maybe hear about this discrepancy between men and women and how people are paid, but we don't necessarily see it because some people don't talk about their salaries and a lot of things are protected. But for sports, it's all laid out there. We know what people make. And so all the celebration that happened yesterday, wow, this is a reality check for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But the one positive on this, now I have to say for the NHL, it's the same deal. First-year players basically have no rights and make no money in comparison. Major League Baseball players, when they're young, forget about it. they've been they've been sacrificed in every negotiation between the league and the players for decades. The NFL is different. The NFL, like you'll see first-year players sign like a $40 million signing bonus like that in the NFL. NFL is a different beast. But this is why I always find it interesting why NBA players, whenever Michael Jordan walks into a room, you don't just bend down and do this, because he set a different standard for everyone. She is going to do the same thing in the WNBA. This is going to be a very different number 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. Toronto's going to have a franchise eventually. There's going to be another 8 franchises coming in. She is going to change the game. She's going to have to take that now. It's not a fair salary considering her stardom, but she is a trailblazer in every way, and I hope players in the future give her the respect she is going to deserve, because those numbers are wild, but they will change in 10 to 15 years. I guarantee you.
Well,
guarantee you.
But the celebration, like I said, that happened yesterday, and the bottom line that comes out today, we are still in a state where we celebrate a woman's accomplishment, but we don't pay it. We don't value it.
Correct.
And, you know, all of what was said, and she's the best player that's come out, best. Where's the money?
And we talked about it yesterday, the fact that the NCAA championship for women had higher ratings than the men's tournament. And
It outdrew the World Series.
Like,
The women's college basketball final outdrew every World Series game this past year. It's a different world, but the money's going to take, there's a delay in the money catching up that way. It will get there, but is that fair? Absolutely not.
Love this conversation, though. Love
we
that
gotta have
this conversation is happening around the world, because
Absolutely.
this is how she's going to move it. That's the wonderful thing about this.
And she will, 100%. Great point.